This is the story of Luck of the Titanic, a powerful historical fiction tale set in the year 1912. It follows the journey of a brave and talented British-Chinese girl named Valora Luck, who boards the Grand Titanic not for leisure, but with a mission to reunite with her twin brother and seek a better life in America. Through her story, we discover deep themes like racism, identity, family, and the forgotten stories of Chinese immigrants. It is a fictional tale inspired by real life. Chinese passengers who were aboard the Titanic, most of whom survived, but were later erased from history. This is not the same story you saw in the movie Titanic. There's no Jack and Rose here. This is Valora's journey, a bold, emotional, gripping ride on the ship of dreams. Valora sneaks aboard the Titanic. Valora Luck, a 17-year-old half-Chinese girl from London, is determined to reach America and reunite with her twin brother Jamie Luck. After losing both her parents, Valora has been working as a servant for a rich British family. When her employer dies, she takes a huge risk. She uses her late employer's travel documents and dresses up like a wealthy English lady to sneak onto the Titanic. Why? Because Jamie is a worker on the ship, traveling in third class, along with 6 other Chinese men. Valora wants to perform in a circus in New York and believes Jamie can help her. But there's a problem. Due to the Chinese Exclusion Act, Chinese people are banned from entering the US, so Valora must hide her identity while navigating the luxury ship. Reuniting with Jamie, Valora finds Jamie among the ship's crew. Their reunion is emotional. Jamie is shocked, then furious. He tells her she shouldn't be there. It's too risky. But Valora won't leave. She wants Jamie to dream again. She wants them to perform as acrobats like they did as children. But Jamie is tired of rejection and wants to stay safe. She also meets the 6 Chinese sailors who work alongside Jamie: Bo, Shen, Huo, Lin, Maya, and Fan. Some are friendly, some cautious. Valora is grateful when Bo supports her and becomes a friend. Secret training and a bold plan. Valora finds out that Mr. Albert Abbey, a famous American circus owner, is on the ship. But women, especially Chinese ones, don't get that kind of attention in first-class society. She secretly trains in hidden corners of the ship, practicing flips, jumps, and stunts. Bo helps her. She even plans a secret acrobatics show, with Jamie and the crew hoping Mr. Abbey will notice her. Despite the challenges, Valora's determination never breaks. Facing prejudice, mixed race causes trouble. Passengers and crew often look down on her. Some accuse her of stealing. Others simply ignore her. But she finds comfort in April, a young girl from a rich family who supports her and believes in her talent. Even Mr. Abbey sees Valora's potential after a small performance, but he says he cannot hire a Chinese girl, especially under the US laws. This breaks Valora's heart, not because of the rejection, but because of the unjust system. Still, she refuses to give up. Everything changes on April 14, 1912, late at night. The Titanic hits an iceberg. Panic spreads. The ship begins to sink. First-class passengers are allowed on lifeboats. Third-class passengers, especially foreigners, are kept locked behind gates. Valora rushes to find Jamie and the others. Together, they try to escape. She helps lead the Chinese crew and other trapped passengers toward the upper decks. They face water, chaos, screaming crowds, and blocked passages. One of the Chinese crew sacrifices himself to save a trapped child. Others are swept away by freezing water. Jamie and Valora stick together. The final sacrifice, Val and Jamie reach a lifeboat. There's no space left. Jamie finds a wooden door and lifts Valora onto it. He tells her to stay alive, to dream, and to tell their story. She refuses to leave him, but Jamie lets go and disappears into the cold ocean. Valora is rescued by a lifeboat later. She is one of the few Chinese passengers who survive, but the cost is heavy. She loses her twin, the other half of her soul. The after rescue by the RMS Carpathia. Valora is taken to New York, but due to her Chinese identity, she is not allowed to enter. She is detained on Ellis Island, facing deportation. Journalist hears her story and writes about her bravery and loss. Her tale spreads. The public is moved. Activists push for her release. Mr. Abbey, the circus owner, finally changes his mind, not just out of guilt, but because he realizes Valora is not just a performer, she is a fighter, a survivor. Valora is allowed to stay. She performs in America, not just as an acrobat, as a symbol of resilience and forgotten voices. She never stops honoring her brother, the 6 Chinese men who sailed with her. She shares their stories so they are not erased from history. Luck of the Titanic is a deeply emotional, inspiring, and powerful story that brings light to a forgotten piece of history: the presence of Chinese men on the Titanic. Through Valora Luck's journey, we see how courage, dreams, and love for family can overcome even the harshest storms. It reminds us that many heroes of the Titanic were never mentioned in history books, but they existed. Their stories matter. Valora's name may not be real in the history records, but through this story, her spirit and the spirit of the countless unheard continues to live on. This is not just the story of a sinking ship. It is the story of hope that refused to drown. Asterisk, thanks for watching. If you really like the story, please do like, share, subscribe. Comment on my channel. Asterisk, we will meet you again in the next video.